Hello and welcome. So you can see I've completed the crossword today. Unfortunately, I had to pause halfway through the video because I was struggling. I'd spent about 10 minutes with 7 clues I just couldn't get to, and then I must have pressed the wrong button when I restarted the pause when I finally got one back in and killed off the solve record. So I'll just go through the clues and tell you which ones I struggled on. I mean, basically it was this plangent, sent, class action, island over here, and then contemplate, prompt, and few were giving me a problem from about 9 to 19 minutes. And then as you can see, I finished in 24:28, so not a quick time today. But let's go through the clues and just explain what's going on, because it's always good to have a look at them. So one across, the clue is unforthcoming of late, holding it back. So unforthcoming is reticent, of late is recent, and holding it back. So we've got IT going backwards into that. Excited and getting overly giddy at first. 4 letters. So excited is agog. So you're all agog about something, you're excited about it. And then we've got an acrostic, as indicated by at first of, and getting overly giddy. On to 8 across, which is computer hypothetically retaining much when reconfigured. So the answer is Turing machine. So a Turing machine is hypothetical computer. So Alan Turing is sometimes seen as the father of the computer, I think, back in the 40s and 50s. And we've got an anagram. Turing machine is an anagram of retaining much, and when reconfigured is your anagram indicator. Bit of an oldie goldie here with 10 across, old judge to give a lecture. So O for old, and then if you judge something you rate it, so separate those two words. And to give a lecture is to orate. We've got the Dutch scholar Erasmus. I don't know who Dutch Erasmus was, but I now know he's a Dutch scholar. Problems are, so literally sums are returning, going backwards. 12 across, I'll read the clue again. Timely question fed into an AI tool, say. This is one of the clues I struggled with. And you need to separate this into 2 parts, into a double definition of timely, so something that's timely is prompt, and maybe a question. So say maybe a question fed into an AI tool is a prompt. This was a hard one. This is one of the ones that stuffed me up for a while. Key on map is large, so what? So you think a key on a map, in this case the key is talking about an island. That's the definition, key on map. So think of the Florida Keys are an example of island, a group of islands. And we've got is in the clue, we've got L for large, and then so what is and. I had the and part for a while. Once again begin to relax by painting perhaps. Once again begin to relax by painting perhaps. So in this case the definition is once again begin, and to relax is to rest, and painting is an example of art. Snack bars brought back some of these facilities. Nice, straight, easy clue to read. Cafes is the answer, and it's a hidden word backwards, beginning in facilities. Some is telling you it's a hidden word. Brought back is telling you it's a hidden word that's backwards. And snack bars are cafes. Somehow not being alone is fixed. So something that's fixed is non-negotiable. That's the definition, an answer. Somehow is telling you there's an anagram of not being alone. Power cut that was a close call. P for power, and a cut. To cut something is to hew it. And something that was a close call. Phew. Here's a word I'd vaguely heard of, and had to work out from the wordplay. So this is why it didn't come to me very quickly. Ringing must mean plangent. A spy is a plant, and that's getting hold of information. Gen for information. So plangent is ringing. I don't know. I don't even know what that means. Whether that means, I think it means it's a ringing in your ears, but it might be encircling something. Who knows? Okay, let's look at the downs. Fixed allowance, almost in proportion. So a very nice smooth surface to that clue. In proportion is a ratio, and a fixed allowance is a ration, but we take off the end because it's almost a ration, so it's ration becomes ratio. 2 down. 1 blowing rent on a party. Again, another smooth surface. So one that's blowing is a tornado. That's definition and answer. Rent is torn, and on So because it's down clue, it's going on, and then A is in the clue, and a party is a do. 3 down. This held me up for a while, but it shouldn't have held me up. But I got stuck on the word concentrate, whereas I actually wanted contemplate. So think about think is to contemplate. And I knew concentrate didn't work, but my mental dictionary got stuck on that. About is C, so C for circa is about. About. No, okay, let me restart that again. Think about is to contemplate. Constant is C. Working is on, and a pattern is a template. Simple construction. Just couldn't get the right word in my head. A singer's selection with less feeling. So a singer's selection is a number. They sing a number, and if you've got less feeling, then you are number. So the old misdirection of that one coming up. Stern male storyteller. Very simple clue there. Stern is grim. M for male gives you Grimm, one of the Grimm brothers storytellers. A wedding invitee loudly indulged in speculation. Again, good surfaces on these clues. Wedding invitee is a guest, so think of guest with a T. Loudly is telling you it's a sound alike of guest, which makes it indulged in speculation is guest in the spelling there. This is a very good clue, but again held me up for a long time because it's just not at all obvious how to break it down. But stylishness rendered in coat or suit common in the States. So I really wanted to break that common in the States, but actually you need to go with suit common in the States. So a suit that's common in the States is a lawsuit that's common in the States, which is a class action lawsuit. Stylishness is class, and rendered is saying there's an anagram of in coat, which gives you the action part of that. Hard clue, but very good. I like it. Just hard. Bit of an oldie goldie here. So the standard is par. Cut is to snip, and a vegetable is a parsnip. We've got a fine story, easy to relate to. The surfaces on these are so smooth, I have to say. A in the clue. F for fine is a standard abbreviation. A story is a fable. And someone who is affable is easy to relate to. Let's scroll on down. Turn around after extremely short walk. So extremely short is telling you take the extremes of short, which are the S and the T. Put turn around. So if you roll, you're turning around. Not necessarily in an obvious way, but which gives you stroll, which is to walk. From that moment, gluttony possibly leads to certain excesses. So from that moment is since. Gluttony is an example of a sin, one of the 7 deadly sins, and the leads, i.e. the first letters of certain excesses, give you the C and the E. Finally, climb without a track. So a climb is an ascent. Take the A off, gives you scent, and ascent is the trail or track of someone. You can be followed by dogs or whatever. So there you go, 24-28. As I say, I got to about 7 left. I had class action, island, scent, and plangent on this side, and contemplate, prompt, and few on that side at about 9 minutes. And then I sat there for 10 minutes and just couldn't get into it. Paused the video at that point, and then looked at saw island. Restarted the video because I tried crass in there actually, which gave me the S, and then I saw island come out of that. So just by guessing at crass. And then I changed that to class, which gave me class action. Then I got plangent. I think I had got scent in that time. And then contemplate. I think I got prompt, which then gave me contemplate, and then a little bit of an alphabet troll for last minute on few. So there we go. All done in 24-28. Not fast. Like class action once I understand it. Yeah, a little bit tough in places, but good fun. Thanks for that, Jalna.